Welcome back to my Road to Completion guide for Hellblade. This is episode 3, and we have about 19 minutes of running around that we need to do at the beginning of this episode. We have some Lorestones we need to activate, of course some battles that we need to get into. The main issue for this episode is going to be the trials, which take place around the 19-minute mark. That's of course when I'll come back in with commentary and help you guys get through that part. So just enjoy the gameplay, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Senua saw a deep connection form between the Northmen and the darkness. His tales of hell were true. Then that was the source of it. She learned everything she could from him, until she too could see what he saw. Have you ever died before? It's a serious question. When the illusion of self is shattered, you simply cease to be. Though it may not seem that way to others, you know when it is true. You can feel it. A stranger in your own body. An imposter. And nothing is the same ever again. Senua has died before, and she will do so again.
With the mark of Valravan and the mark of Surt, you may cross the bridge over the River of Knives to Helheim.
Why is she waiting? Open the gate. Open the gate. No, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Don't open the gate. Don't. She's done it.
This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left. The gods made you a warrior for a reason. It's your calling. Why some of the past when there is a new road ahead? The only one that makes any sense. Every gate you open to darkness brings another change.
Defend yourself!
Nobody cares.
Get up, quickly! Get out! She's hurt. She won't make it.
She finished him. That's it.
End it now. This is nearly the end. You can do this.
Make it.
Go again.
Down.
You won it.
The journey to Helheim is never a straight one. Each must find their own path.
However you come to the gold-covered bridge that leads to Hell, you may find it guarded by a giantess. She will ask your name. She will ask your lineage. She will ask your business.
Focus.
When her slain loves Sigurd, and is challenged by the giantess. Hela possesses large dwelling places in Helheim. Tall are her walls, high are her gates. The name of her dish is hunger. Her knife is famine. On her threshold all will stumble. Her bed is called sick bed, and her bed hangings are called flames of a funeral pyre. They say she is easy to recognize, half black and half the color of flesh, and her face menacing and grim.
The gate. It's opening.
It's already disappeared.
Nothing lives. He's
here.
gone. You were
He's
too
gone.
slow.
How could you?
Keep
How
going.
could you?
Keep going. Ignore the pain.
I told you it was to trick you. I told you.
Where are you going?
See, there's nothing to follow. Come on. There it is. You're imagining this. It's Dylan. Go towards it. Quick, go, run. Come on. Before he disappears. Go, go, go. Ow.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely. There he was. The lone figure of a boy.
He's there, under the tree.
Sword play under the shade of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him.
Under the tree. You can see.
To her young eyes,
You have to keep
he moved as if dancing. And the world danced with him. The gloom lifted. For the first time in years, she felt a ray of hope.
Around a great tree, and one day, Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift to whomever can release it. Many try, but the sword falls out and sinks. Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night. As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free. After his escape, Sigmund lives like us, hidden in the forest. His enemy, King Sigurd, laid him dead.
Day after day, watching from afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund.
You can't even fight. It's just deception.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
I'll find you, my love. I promise.
Can you see him?
You want to believe it.
Is he
It's
there?
not real.
Is he there?
You're alone in these mountains.
Is that Delia?
Nothing lives here. You won't survive. You met him by the tree.
She met him by the tree.
Maybe it's a sign. The tree.
What's he trying to tell you?
He's waiting for you by the tree.
As Sigmund and Sinfjotli are being buried alive, Sigmund's sister throws an armful of straw into the grave mound. Hidden in the straw is Sigmund's sword, the gift of Odin. They cut their way out of the grave mound and set fire to Siggeir's hall. And here is the end of Sigmund's story. He was a fierce and great warrior who fought many battles. But one day, an old man came onto the battlefield. Although shadowed by a hood, Sigmund saw that he only had one eye. The man raised his spear. And thus the victory could not be his.
Take it.
He bowed his head.
Sword. Take it.
And accepted.
Left for you. Take it. Take it.
It is said a great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the Tree of Death will take you to new lands where you will face the trials.
Go to the shards. Go to the shard.
Go to the shards.
What's the shard? Find it.
It's the metal runestones. Find it. Where is it?
Find it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shard. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
What can you see?
Go to
I don't recognize this place.
Where are we? Where is she? It feels wrong.
Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspired to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes, and forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the reckoning.
A wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyrving.
He cares about her too much. He loves her.
It's not dinner.
So the burial mound that we're about to enter is actually a maze. We need to find 3 Lorestones and locate the exit to unlock the trophy Escaped. The layout of this maze is simple. A hallway followed by a V-shaped room with 2 paths, and this repeats throughout the burial mound. We can use objects in the environment such as shields and torch stands to help us navigate. I will also move through the maze extremely slow so you don't get lost.
Who's there? Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials.
I'll
Like when
find
we
him.
first met, remember?
What's that? Did you hear that? Nothing. Was that voices?
Is that his voice or the voice of the dead?
Not Dillian.
Dillian's calling to you. Can you
Where is
hear?
he? Where is he?
Herver disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were mist. The flames I passed through were real enough. Damn the Northmen to hell.
I can hear him.
Within the burial mound, Herver calls on her father to wake from death and bring her his sword. She says that it is not seemly for the dead in their grave mounds to bear valuable weapons. Her father answers with words of warning. You go to your doom. Baleful runes surround you. You have gone mad. You have lost your mind. Your thoughts are confused. It is dangerous to wake the dead. Like I said, she reminds me of you.
It's not him. It's not him.
We told you. We told you it was a trick.
Doesn't sound like Dillian.
What's happening? It's not him, it can't be.
What's that sound? The voice is changing.
What? That's not...
Herver ignores her father's warnings. The grave mound opens, and it seems to be full of fire. Again, Herver demands her inheritance, but her father warns her that the sword is cursed and would be the bane of her family. But he relents and brings her the sword. She leaves the island with it, but the curse holds true, and death would follow in the years to come. And so, Senua, the misdeeds of a father have cursed his daughter.
Find another way. It's not working.
You have to use your mind. Where can you go?
You're failing. Find another way.
Think. Focus. Use your mind.
Where's he gone? He's disappeared. You let him slip through your fingers once again.
Think clearly. You have to find another way. There
another
has to be
way.
another way.
Quiet. He wants me to find him. I'm lost without him. That voice.
It's not Dillian. Dillian wants me to face my fears.
As soon as you exit the maze, wait for the autosave icon to show up and create another save.
It's done. You did it, but there's more.
As soon as this sequence starts, you want to turn around, walk to the back wall, and then move to the right. You want to keep your left shoulder against the wall or any other objects you come across in the environment, and that will help you successfully navigate this maze.
Way out.
I can't tell where it comes from.
Yes, you can.
The others. The voices. They've gone.
I'm still here.
It's so quiet. So dark.
It's okay. Listen to your own breath. Feel it rise and fall. Good. Be aware of everything you hear and feel. Let your senses guide you. I'm somewhere else now. The breeze has gone.
Use all of your senses. Let the world speak.
Once you make it out of the maze, follow the stream until you enter a crawl space.
I hear water.
Go to it.
I've reached the water.
Good. That's your way out. Follow it upstream.
I'm so sorry. I thought I left us all behind.
Don't be sorry. It's not your fault.
He was right. It's inside of me. It won't let me go.
Senua. My father. He taught me that the hardest battles are fought in the mind, not the soul. I'm no coward. Prove that to me in the warrior tribe. This is just another battle. You can beat it.
This isn't your battle. You don't have to help me.
I want to. Besides, I'm going to be a great warrior one day. We need people like you.
I'll do my best.
I know what you're thinking. He's not really here. It seems there's no escaping the past in this place. So she's forced to relive it. To what end?
Immediately after exiting the crawl space, go into the house on the left.
There is a house. I don't know what's inside.
Don't be afraid.
Tilly, there's something in here.
Do you see it?
No.
Then it cannot see you. Quietly move past it.
As soon as this sequence starts, there'll be an enemy directly in front of you and to the left. To avoid this enemy, we want to use the same method that we used before. We want to turn around, walk to the back wall, and move to the right. Remember to keep your left shoulder against the wall or any objects that you come across in the environment, and that will allow you to sneak past the enemy and make it outside.
It's not following me.
Leave it behind and keep moving forwards.
You can reach the door at the end of this area by following the torch lights. Just be careful and go slow to avoid the monsters.
There is more of them. I think they're moving.
You're breathing too fast.
I'm scared.
This is the sound of your breath. In and out. In and out. It will pass. You can do this, Hela.
think I'm in a house. It stinks of death.
The darkness is testing you, but you are in control.
A well. There's a well.
Don't turn back. You're getting close.
Delia. Help me.
Come to the center.
Delia. Is that you? I can see a light.
Yes, I can see you too.
She could spend hours, days even, trapped within herself in the dark.
After the sequence is over and you're back outside, set up a safety save and we'll continue with the guide. Use focus while standing behind the mask to shift the environment and reveal a new path.
Mask is here to watch you fail again.
Where are we? What is this? It's the same. It's another world. It's lighter.
Bridge. It's not broken.
It's fixed.
What happened? The bridge is fixed. Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Baldur. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Baldur dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Baldur's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swearing.
He loves you. Thank you. Dillian. We're nearly here.
The gate is open. Go through the gate.
Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
What's behind the gate?
Where will it take you?
It's not safe. Dillian, there he is. There he is. What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through.
Where is he?
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong world.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
The dark.
The dark world.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillian taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of color stretching away from the gloom. And Senua explored new paths into the unknown.
Mother, is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe? I did not ask the mistletoe, Baldur's mother confesses. I thought it was too young. Oh dear.
You have blood on your hands.
You are guilty. Was it worth it?
You broke him. You killed him.
You couldn't see the darkness within you. There he is. Where are you taking
He's
me?
up there. He's up there.
How do you get up there?
There's a way. There is a way up there. Find the way. She can do it. You're nearly there. She can find the way.
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Baldur. The blind god, Huth, was there. Loki asks him why he wasn't taking part. Huth says, I cannot see where Baldur stands, and even if I could see him, the Northmen tell how the gods mourned Baldur. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea and sent for a giantess to do it.
Your love because he believed.
She comes riding a wolf and has... When Baldur's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds.
She thought she had light.
That of Zinbel and her path.
She is pure
And Dillian.
darkness.
A future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Baldur return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Baldur stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Baldur. Weep him out of hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, tree.
Nobody will love her now. Can you remember what love feels like? Look what happens. She destroys the things she loves.
Wasting your time.
You have no time for this. Speed up.
These rooms mean nothing. It's all part of their game. They've tried to distract you. They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you fall.
What if these trials mean nothing?
You're laughing at you. What if they take you no closer to letting this get in the way?
What if they are just to tire you out? A week before the Battles claimed Dillion.
Poor Dillion. He didn't know. He was kind.
What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could make this work?
You keep seeing runes. You see runes everywhere.
The Northmen tell how the gods punished Loki for Baldur's death. They captured him and took him to a cave. They fetched his 2 sons and turned one into a wolf, and he ripped his brother apart. The gods used Loki's own sons. Accept death, and so must we.
What if they're all about wasting your time, just delaying minute by minute by minute? Do you think she will? What does she think she's doing? You're special. She wasn't worth it.
They mean nothing.
Cross the broken bridge and interact with the NPC to unlock the Different Perspectives trophy.
First time.
Dillion!
It's not safe. Dillion never much cared for the underworld and looked dimly upon the druids like her father, Zinbal.
You can do it.
I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillion's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. Slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Go to him.
That's it.
Quicker.
It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him to the... Just come to me.
I'm so sorry.
Killing you would be too easy.
Make sure to set up another save before you enter the next trial.
What is this place?
It's creepy. It feels wrong. It feels strange. Where is it? Where are we?
There he is.
There he is.
The light.
Go towards it.
He's in the house.
Find
He's going in.
He's disappearing.
Follow him.
Don't let him disappear. Keep going. How do you find it?
It's a test. Like the old warrior trials. Dillion will help me.
The stench of rot. She can almost taste it. Do you smell it? Don't worry, not everyone can. It was a warm spring day when she went to the river with Dillian and the others. But the water, she could taste the rot. But no one else could. She knew something was wrong, something sinister. She begged them to leave, but they just laughed at her. But soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was laughing. And they knew that she was not like them.
The Northmen speak of a death moon, a light shaped like a half moon that appears inside a house and goes around the walls. I once saw the death moon appear at a farm, and first the shepherd died, then a guest died, and then the farmhands, and then the farmer and 6 of his men drowned in sea. That is not the end of it, because the dead return to haunt the living. If you see the death moon, then beware, because there will be death in that house.
She did it.
You fixed the bridge.
She fixed it.
You passed the trial. Get to the house.
You succeeded. Until you get to the house.
Before he disappears, Senua.
Senua! Come to me! Where are you?
I'm here! I'm right here!
Are you in there?
You have to find him.
There was a Northman called Grettir, big, red-haired, immensely strong, but he was afraid of the dark. It happened one night that an undead creature came to his house to drag him.
Dillian! They're coming for me!
In my opinion, this is the toughest part of the game, so make sure that you set up a backup save after you see the autosave icon appear before you start playing this sequence. As soon as you load back into the game, you want to run through this area using the left wall as your main source of navigation. As long as you follow the left wall, you will locate all 3 symbols and the exit. If you see a break in the wall, duck under it by pressing X.
It's close. It's close. Run now.
If the fire catches up to you, it will kill you, but of course you guys have the backup save. This might take you a few attempts, but as soon as you escape this area, you'll unlock the trophy Cure of the Plague.
To find one more. One more.
Where is he?
What should I do?
Don't let it is. Go towards it. Run. You've got me. Where's the door? To find a way out. Find the gate. Get and run. Run. Don't let him look at you.
Don't let it see you. It's coming. Move away. You're lost again.
Go back to the tree and grab the sword to unlock another trophy.
With Gramr reforged, you will have Odin's blessing to walk a goddess into the halls of Helheim and challenge Hela as an equal.
So Dillion was helping me. And the sword will lead me to him. Like when we first met.
Dillion gave her the strength to pass the warrior trials.
As soon as the cutscene is over, you'll load into the next area. Wait for the autosave icon to appear, and that will wrap up this episode. The final episode is coming up next. I'll talk to you then. Be good.
Hold it! Hold the heavy strike. Hold it. Release the